Wait, what? Hey guys, what's up? It's Sachika. Welcome to my channel. Today I thought I'd discuss college interview tips with you guys. Now I did only give one interview, which was for UAL, and the rest of my admissions were all without interview. So I know this may seem a little weird for a person who gave only one, but I have a lot of friends who gave more than me, and they gave them in science colleges. And these are tips that I put together that came from my college counselor in school, the person who helped me apply to UAL. There's an academy here which is partnered up with UAL, which helps students apply to UAL specifically. So in fact, it's coupled with a couple of YouTube videos that I watched before my interview because God was I nervous. And also it's my own experience, obviously. So let's get into it. Okay, so I made notes and I shall read from that. Of course, they're only like brief notes where I know what I'm talking about, and then I can elaborate on each point individually, and so that it makes more sense and I'm not talking gibberish the entire time, and I have some structure to this. Anyway, first one, don't interrupt your interviewer. Here's the thing, we're so used to talking to people that we know, friends, family, and when you're talking to them, it's easy to interrupt them and put your point across, and it's never taken badly because you know them, they love you, you love them. It's very friendly relationship and cordial relationship, and it's very easy to slip into that even during an interview. So don't interrupt your interviewer, which is very easy to do. So while you should be comfortable in your interview, don't be super uptight and nervous, but don't get so comfortable that you forget that it's an interview. It is still an interview. It is still judging whether you're good enough for their college. So just Second, be confident in your application, but don't be overconfident. Now I'm an art student, and as I have mentioned a million times before, and I obviously applied to art universities and schools, and it was all based on my portfolio. Now, the interviewer that I had for UAL, she wanted to see me be confident in my portfolio, in my work, to believe in it, because only if you believe in your own work will somebody else believe in it. You have to convince them, right? So I think this applies to everybody. Just believe in what you've done so far. For example, for a science student, I know your grades are the most important thing, so believe in your grades because you have done your best and there's nothing you can do to change it now. And the only thing you can do is be confident about the application that you've submitted and your own abilities. And yeah, but again, don't be overconfident in your application. Here's the thing, it's very easy to slip into the mode of, there's a very thin line in between being confident and overconfident. Nobody wants to see someone who is overconfident, who is boasting their work and all that, but you should be confident enough in yourself and your work that you've done your best, and it should be good enough for them. If it's not, then there's a different college for you, or maybe whatever, however it works out for you in life. But like I said, don't be overconfident, don't push your work. Nobody likes that, so obviously neither does a college interviewer. Next, make sure you know what you're talking about. Don't talk crap and make up shit on the spot. If someone asks you something and you don't know the answer, say I don't know the answer. They appreciate honesty much more than they appreciate you just attempting something that you can't answer, because they want to know how much you know, they want to know your abilities, and instead of actually making it look like you know more than you do in an interview like that, it makes it look like you don't know anything at all, and that's really not what you want. It's the complete opposite effect of what you want to show. So next thing, don't say what you think your interviewer wants you to say. Say stuff that you believe in, that appeals to you, and not okay, for example, if you're in an art interview and you have a portfolio piece that the interviewer really loves, and you can tell that they really love it, but it's not your favorite piece from the portfolio, and they ask you what's your favorite piece, don't say it's the one that they like. Actually be honest and genuine, because they can tell. They have done enough of these interviews to tell when a student is not being genuine and when they are. So just stick to being genuine and actually giving your true opinion on something if you're asked, or giving a true answer or something, because they will appreciate that a lot more than you trying to fake it and kind of get in their good graces, Next is, it is obviously good to be prepared for an interview, but don't be too prepared. There is such a thing as being too prepared. And what I mean by this is, when someone is too prepared for an interview, you have more of a likelihood of messing it up, because you wound yourself up so much and you've been so nervous for so much time that you can bumble it up, you can forget, you can put too much pressure on yourself, and then that never works out. Yeah, so you should be prepared. You should look up sample questions and so on and so forth, but don't sit rehearsing in a mirror and so on and so forth, because when you're actually sitting in front of the person, it's not the same at all. It's a completely different experience, and like I said, it is possible to be too prepared. I'm trying to give you an example, but I can't think of one. This is annoying. Okay, here's the thing. If you're in an interview and someone asks you a question and you know what the question is, and you start answering without thinking, without letting them complete their question even, and you go into a nervous ramble, you speak so fast that they can't understand anything, and you don't articulate clearly, and you go into a nervous ramble, that's the worst thing possible, and that's what happens when you're over prepared. Okay, next, be authentic to yourself. Show your personality. If you're a fun-loving, outgoing person, show it. If you're a shy, introverted person, show it. Interviewers are looking for real people. They're not looking for people who are fake, because fakers never make it, right? So be authentic to yourself, your own personality, who you are, and just be yourself, because they can tell when you're faking it, and you don't want that, because that's an immediate black mark against you. Do your research, not just on a college you're applying to, but the degree you're applying for. Obviously, I know you do your baseline research and say, oh, this is the best college for the degree that I want to apply for, and hence I'm applying here. That's all cool and all, but you should know what you're getting yourself into. If the interviewer asks you, do you know how much time we require for a student to do homework? Are you willing to put in that much work if it's 8 hours? First of all, you shouldn't be surprised at the time frame that they give you or whatever. There shouldn't be any. You should basically just know what you're getting yourself into when you're applying to that particular college for that particular degree, and and you should be willing to put in that work. Otherwise, the interviewer can immediately tell that you don't know what you're talking about and you don't know what you're doing. Like I said, they don't like fakers. Oh, another thing, do research on common interview questions. You'll find enough videos on YouTube for this. I did research on this, like loads of it. But don't expect those to be the only ones that come. For example, I did research on what are the common art college interview questions that I can get, and none of them were part of my interview, literally none of them. And suddenly I was like, shit, what am I doing? How do I answer this? And I was so nervous in my interview. So when they ask about you, describing yourself, who you are as a person. Shit, I couldn't speak there for a second. Don't just talk about you as a student. You know, I did so well and this is why I'm applying to your college and this is why I'm interested in this program and so on. Like, that's all well and good, but they're looking for well-rounded candidates as well. For example, I would talk about how I love swimming, my YouTube channel, my Instagram account, how I handled that throughout the last 2 years of school, how even as an art student I do love science, and so I actually had physics as an A-level subject, which is crazy if you think about it, but it was there. And yeah, that's one. And my last point is not every, I was not asked this, but apparently it's a really common question. So if someone asks you about your weaknesses, if your interviewer says, okay, I know about your strengths are like science or whatever, you know, but what are your weaknesses? Be honest. Like, for example, if someone were to ask me, what are your weaknesses? I would actually say that I get so lost in my work and I'm so easily disappointed in myself that I can overwork myself really easily. Like, for example, if I finish an entire A2 sheet of painting and I don't like it, I will seriously scrap it and throw it away. I won't look for ways to fix it or change it or, you know, make it better in some way. I will literally pick it up, crumple it, throw it in the bin and start over, which is mad as an A-level art student, because suddenly you're just stuck doing art. What about the rest of your subjects? And I would also say that sometimes I'm just too much of a perfectionist, which is crazy. I know, sounds mad. What is too much of a perfectionist in your work? But seriously, I believe this. I am too much of a perfectionist sometimes, especially when it comes to my artwork. I need it to be exactly as I saw it in my vision. If it is not that, then I'm disappointed in myself. And this leads to a lot of mental issues too, but like, that's separate. Basically what I'm trying to tell you is, don't try to pass it off as if you don't have a weakness. You are human, not a robot, and they are looking for human students. They are not looking for robot students. So yeah, I hope these helped you. That was my only goal, obviously. Share my experience with the world. And I hope you liked it. And if you're giving a college interview this year or anytime soon, good luck, because just trust me when I say there are a lot of things that can go wrong, but there are a lot of things that can go right too. So just trust yourself. Bye. I'm thinking of trying to give you. This is annoying.